Hello. So we're going to talk about applications that involve multiplication and division with mixed numbers. So on this very first one here, it says Barry takes 3.5 hours to detail a car, and he worked 42 hours. And in that 42 hours, we want to know how many cars did he detail. So the first thing I'm going to do is I see this as a mixed number. So I'm going to write this as a improper fraction. And when I do, I know the denominator does not change. So I'm going to go ahead and write it down. Next, in order to find the new numerator, I know that it's going to be the denominator times that whole number. So here's my whole number plus this numerator right here. So 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 is 7 divided by 2. So this is what I'm going to work with. So I'm going to take the 42 hours and I'm going to divide it by that 7/2. Now, I got it set up in the proper format. If you're a visual person, you may want to put a 1 underneath the 42. Now we're talking about a division with a fraction. So we're going to apply that rule of keep the first, change the operation, and flip the second, which when you hear the word flip, is the same as reciprocal. I'm going to bring down that 42 over 1. I'm going to change division to multiplication, and I'm going to write 2/7 because I flipped it. Now that I've done that, I look at the denominator and I see that I have a 7. 7's prime. It won't go into 2, but it will go into 42. I know that 6 times 7 is 42 over 1 times that 2 over 7. And I can reduce the 7. 7 goes into itself once, right? Now I have 6 times 1 times 2, which is 12 all over 1. So I don't need the 1 in the denominator. So it's 12 cars that he washed in 42 hours. All right. So let's go to our next application problem. It says that you drove your car 425 miles and you used 25 gallons of gas. You know that your tank holds that 17.5 gallons. So I have quite a bit of things going on here. So over here, I'm going to go ahead and take that 425 miles over 25 gallons. And let's go ahead and factor down or reduce. It's always good to reduce. I see that 25 will go into itself once and it go into 425 17 times. So this is 17 miles per gallon. Okay, so that's my side note. Now let's take this 17 1/2 and let's write this in its gallons. Don't forget gallons goes with that. Let's write this as an improper fraction. The denominator does not change, so I'm going to go ahead and write it. To find my new numerator, I know I'm going to multiply the denominator times that whole number. I'm going to add the numerator I have here. So now I have 2 times 7 is 34, plus that 1 gives me 35/2 gallons. All right, so now let's answer A. A wants to know what is the most miles that you can get on a tank of gas. So I'm going to take that 35/2 gallons and I'm going to multiply that by that 17 miles per gallon. Oh, wow, my gallons reduce, right? They go into themselves one time, right? So now I'm left with 35 times that 17 over 2 miles. So let's do this. I have 35 times 17. And the reason why I'm doing it this way is because I noticed 35 and 17, neither one of them are even. So it's not going to reduce with the 2 very nicely. So I'm going to say this. And now let's divide that by 2. And that gives me 297.5 miles. However, this section wants you to write it in fraction form. So I'm going to say 297 because the number in front of the decimal is the whole number. And 0.5 is a half. So that is my answer. So now let's solve for the double I's here. It says if gas costs $3.09 per gallon, what will you pay to fill up 1/2 of your tank? So this is a clue. It says 1/2. So what I'm going to do is take this 35/2, which is, we got it from this here, right? And I'm going to divide it by 2 because it said half. So we're half in that tank. I know 35 halves is the whole tank. Let's divide it by 2. When I do that, I'm going to keep the first, change the operation, flip the second. So I got 35 halves times 1/2. Now multiply straight across because 2 won't go into 35 evenly. So I got 35 fourths. All right, we're good. We need this 35 fourths, and we're going to multiply that. So it's 30, and it's gallons, guys. The unit here is gallons. So this is gallons. So now I'm going to take this 35 fourths gallons, and I'm going to multiply that by $3.09 per gallon. Well, what happens? The gallons reduce. And now let me scroll down just a little bit, give myself some space, and rewrite this. And now I have 35 fourths times that. I'm going to put over 1,309. So let's multiply that. 35 times 3.09 over 4. And I get 27.0375. However, we don't have that many decimals when we talk about money, right? It only goes out 2 places. It goes out to the hundreds. So I'm going to have to see if I need to round or just drop off. And the second decimal place is what we need. So I'm going to look at the number directly behind it, and I'm going to ask myself, is it equal to or greater than 5? Is this 7 equal to or greater than 5? Yes, it's greater than 5. All we need is a yes for either or. If that's so, I'm going to add 1 on to this 3. So now I got $27.04. Thank you.